That was my swing.
Cool, tuck your left elbow in. You've got a bit of a flying left elbow over there. Just tuck them in a bit. There you go. That's much better.
I've never had such fun in my life.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday morning show. Good morning, Leicester.
Morning, Dan.
We have found a park.
We have social distancing
and
as
some
well.
swings. Yes, we have social distancing on swings. Doesn't get much better than this.
It's funny how you find swings in the park, isn't it?
It is that. It is funny, that, isn't it? And people must use this. It's quite a busy little park normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
Quiet today.
But yeah.
So what a week we've had.
Yeah, we were in Ashbury, haven't we?
Ashbury.
Yeah. And Will played some exceptional golf.
Will has played some properly good golf in this one, hasn't he?
That's the best control I've seen him with a golf ball around a golf course. It was impressive to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Lee could not live with you two on that particular day. Although part 6 was good.
Part 6 was very good.
So if you haven't seen part 6, watch part 6.
Make sure you watch part 6. And so I've got to bring this up because obviously it's there's been some comments, certainly in part 4, with not giving putts. And this is always a tricky one. Like, I mean, I would love to give everyone putts, but at the end of the day, you've got to build up the whole story of what we're doing on a round of golf, and to give 3-foot putts, 4-foot putts, 2-foot putts.
And to be fair, I missed them, so they're not giving me, are they?
So I got a bit of abuse for not giving you that putt. I got a bit of abuse for talking in your backswing as well, which is unheard of on YouTube.
I think people look for excuses. That there's no reason. You talking was no reason why I missed that putt.
We've known each other for over 30 years, and we have, for that whole time, we've given each other a lot of abuse and banter over the years.
That's what it's about.
And that's what this channel is about. It's about a bit of fun on the golf course, experiencing things that we as mates experience. Also, just being at Ashbury, what a great little, well, I would say little, it's the 9th biggest resort in the world.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to getting back there, hopefully, as soon as we get out of these.
Yeah, to do some more filming there.
COVID times, so we finish off the last 2 courses. But yeah, great golf course. Friendly staff, everyone was brilliant.
Absolutely.
Peter, the head greenkeeper, what a bloke as well. Yeah.
So today, I thought we would do something slightly different, and we would actually go and see some areas around Torquay and Torbay.
Yep.
And when people possibly come to Torquay, obviously the golf course is just around the corner from where we are right now, but I thought we would share with people some of the bits around this area.
Yeah, a bit of history. You should have been a history teacher, shouldn't you?
Yeah, so some people say.
Did you?
But I thought we could share with people some of the stuff that is around our golf course.
Did you hear about the bank robbery just down the road?
No.
You know, the guy went in there with a gun and said to the cashier, "Give me all your money, else your geography." She said, "Don't you mean history?" He said, "Stop changing the subject."
On that note, let's go. So first place we have to stop, and it was part of our rules of setting this video up, was right here.
Yeah.
And this is the original site of the Fawlty Towers.
Yeah.
But it was based on the hotel, wasn't it, that sat here?
It was, yeah. It wasn't actually filmed here.
Yeah.
It was filmed elsewhere, but it was from an idea from John Cleese when he came on holiday.
Yeah.
He stayed at a hotel, which was the Gleneagles.
Yes.
Now, it's retirement flats.
It is. It's been the hotel that was originally here, the Gleneagles Hotel. It's quite right. Leicester said was where John Cleese and his wife, and I think a few other actors came to stay. Is where they got the idea of creating Fawlty Towers. But they knocked the hotel down, unfortunately, and they've created this block of apartments, which is a retirement apartments now, which I believe the view over that way is absolutely stunning. But they've named the lodge, haven't they?
They have, yeah. They've named it after the actor that played Manuel.
Yeah, in the
waiter.
Yeah, the waiter. Yeah, in the waiter.
The Spanish waiter, I think.
Spanish waiter, yeah.
I think he was English actually, but yeah.
Which was Andrew Sachs, which is the Sachs Lodge. So they've named it after him, which is quite a nice touch.
As well, Fawlty Towers, they only actually made 12 episodes over 2 series, so it was a very short run.
1975 to 1979, I believe.
Yes, it was a very short run series, but brilliant, and he stands the test of time. It's even funny now, isn't it, when you watch it?
Yeah, Christmas time I tend to put it on. It generally comes on the TV around Christmas. But it also got ranked like #1, didn't it?
Yeah, it's been ranked #1 best sitcom. I mean, I do generally prefer Only Fools and Horses, maybe because of the longevity of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be close. It'd be a close second with Fawlty Towers. So one of the funniest scenes was when the rat got out, Basil the rat.
Basil the rat. So next stop is Paignton. So we've started off in Torquay, we've now come over to Paignton, and we've brought you to Oldway Mansion. Now this is the most beautiful building I've probably ever come across anywhere, and it's just in our hometown.
This particular building was built by the Singer family, who were originally from America.
Isaac Singer, who was the sort of founder of the Singer sewing machines.
Yeah, and they obviously moved over here, and his was it his son Paris?
Paris, yeah.
Who basically brought the development on.
And on this site was a golf course, and it started to build it back in the 1930s. I think in the summer of.
Yeah, it was proposed in the summer of 1932, and it actually opened in 1933.
So it was an 18-hole golf course, and it was called Torbay Country Golf Club. And I think Paris Singer had this idea of creating this big kind of country club. And if you wander around the grounds here at Oldway, you'll see what his ideas were around creating this country club. I mean, we had bowling green.
Yeah, I mean we've still got a bowling club here that formed sort of in the early 1930s as well. So that's still there. You've got tennis courts, got hardcourt tennis courts, you've got grass tennis courts.
I think there was about 13. I think there was 13 tennis courts they had here back in the original days.
You had croquet on the front lawn.
Yeah. You had squash courts. You had badminton. So they had this idea of what I would say is like a bit of a modern day country club that we see certainly out in the States. We see a lot of that.
I would have said he was a bit of an innovator, really.
Absolutely, absolutely right. And it's such a shame because actually what happened is the golf club was formed in 1933, as Lester's quite rightly said there, and then it actually unfortunately closed down in the early 1950s. It just didn't have the money to be able to survive as a golf club back in the day.
And sort of where the original layout of the 18-hole golf course is now a housing estate.
So that's what happened. They sold the land off back in the day all the way around, and we're going to wander up and just see if we can see where one of the greens was further up into the hill. But it was sold off as a housing estate because they couldn't afford to keep it as a golf course, and the developers came in and there was an opportunity and they sold it all off and cashed in.
I mean, this whole estate used to go right down to sea, so it would have been probably another mile away further down, maybe a mile and a half. So in a massive area, this whole sort of grounds covered.
Yeah, absolutely right. So we've made our way to the top of the hill, and I'll chuck some drone footage over so you can see exactly what we can see from this view. But this is the windmill, and I don't know if you have seen from the photos, Lester, but we are standing on where one of the greens would have been on the golf course. And this windmill is obviously in lots of those photos and was a big feature back in the day, but it still stands to the day.
So we've just spoken to the owner of the property.
Who we're borrowing a garden.
In his garden, and he's hoping to redevelop it slightly and build a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment or flat, or a little building on the side of the windmill, put a glass elevator in the middle of it and actually keep it as a feature of the actual building, which would be amazing.
The views from here are absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
But another little fact for you regarding that golf course is it was designed by James Braid.
James Braid, yeah, famous designer.
You know, one of the founding fathers of the PGA back in the day, along with J.H. Taylor and Harry Vardon. Yeah. You know, it is just the history that comes from that is just absolutely superb.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't, until we started doing a bit of research about the area in the last few weeks, I didn't have a clue that this was ever a golf course.
Did you not?
No.
And for all you Americans out there, Walter Hagen actually came here back in the day, probably back in, I would say, the 30s, and played an exhibition match around this golf course when he was doing a tour of Britain. He was probably playing in the British Open Championships, things like that. Yeah. And you've got a little fact, haven't you, with the head pro that used to be attached to
it? Yeah, the head pro that was attached here, he played in the Open and actually I did a little bit of research, and he actually made the cut in the Open. So he must have been a decent player
back in the day as well. Yeah. So we could go around the country, couldn't we, finding golf courses that used to be. Right, we've arrived in Brixham now, so this is our home, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is where both of us have grown up, and you got the fishing port behind us.
Yeah, we were both born in Brixham Hospital before it closed down.
Born and bred.
Yeah, so we're one of the last original
boys
people born here, I guess.
So tell us a little bit about that port then, Bernie.
Okay, so that port behind us, which you can see, is it's actually the largest fishing port in the UK at the moment for sales of fish.
Yeah.
So not necessarily how much is landed, but the actual sales of fish is number one.
Yeah.
There's 270 trawlers that fish regularly from out here and are based here, and it's basically the main industry of Brixham. It's what keeps Brixham thriving as a town.
Absolutely. And for me, it's very much home in the fact that my dad was a fisherman out of this port, so he grew up in Brixham, so our whole lives was all around this fishing port, and we had 2 fishing boats, 2 beam trawlers that used to fish out of here, and he got me out there a few times on the boat, which was just hard work.
He never got me on the boat. We did make me paint it once, which I didn't enjoy.
So tell me about Prince William of Orange.
Okay, so Prince William of Orange, we see a big statue here in Brixham, and he landed somewhere near this spot in 1688.
Yeah.
See, it's Dutch writing on here, so he was Dutch as well, and the English writing on the other side, but this statue is where he landed. He later became William III.
Did he?
He did,
He took over from James?
He did, yeah. I think he opposed the government, or the king at the time, was looking for a revolution.
Yeah.
And this is where he landed.
In Brixham?
In Brixham, yeah.
With 1,500 troops?
1,500 troops, yeah.
So if you're in the town of Brixham and you come to visit it, you've got to come and have a little look at the Golden Hind. And the Golden Hind sits in the sort of inner harbour here, the old part of the harbour, and it's Sir Francis Drake's boat. Now, this one here is obviously a replica. They tried to move it from, I think, going towards Plymouth, and actually it sunk. So this is actually the replica, but it's exactly the same as what he would have used.
Do you know where he was born? He was born in Tavistock,
Was
the birthplaces of the famous roofs as well.
Oh, is that right? Well, what a trip down memory lane that was, Bernie.
We've been on a right little road trip.
And to finish it up here, because this is the practice ground that Lester and I spent most of our youth in.
Yeah, too much time. I should have spent more time on the putting green rather than the practice area, but yeah.
So this is Churston's practice ground, which is where Lester and I grew up at this golf course. It's just a stone's throw from Torquay. It's situated between Paignton and Brixham. And this is kind of where we spent most of our time, really.
You know, the best thing about this place was?
Go on.
Your mum's house is literally 100 yards away.
Yeah, I could get a 5-iron from the back of mum's garden into this practice ground.
You've got longer, have you? What have we got coming up this week on the show?
So we've got a proper little mix match going on this week again. So we've obviously had our time at Ashbury, and that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
But now this week we are going to be spending a bit of time with Peter Finch. So we've done a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah, this is on this week. So I've got a little interview coming up with Peter on Monday, and then we've got maybe like a little review of some products that we've done on Tuesday. Then Wednesday, Thursday is going to be our little series that we did with Pete at Bearwood Lakes, which will be absolutely brilliant. I've just edited it down, and it's really, really quite fun to watch that. And we actually bring out a side of him that he probably never knew it was there. So it was good fun. And then there's a little bit more, and then leading up to Sunday as well. So what have you got for us?
I've just got a bit of a birthday shout out to Gary Smith. It's his birthday on November the 20th.
You got to be careful with these. We get loads of these coming through.
We did have a request from Emma, his daughter. So happy birthday, Gary!
Happy birthday,
Thanks
Gary!
For watching.
Hope you have a great day.
Thanks for watching, Emma, as well.
Yeah.
I've also, on another note, I've got some Sunday morning merch that's now available.
We finally got somewhere with it, so...
I've started sending a few bits out last week. If you're interested in anything, we've got head covers, we've got club scrubbers, that were the famous club scrubber.
Yeah, we've got the famous
we've got bobble hats, we've got towels, we've got everything really. So if you want any merch of that description or that nature, then email me.
In here?
Which will be down here somewhere.
In there.
Yeah. We'll see if we can sort you out and get it sent to you.
So I hope you enjoyed our little venture around Torbay. Obviously,
trip down memory lane.
It's a little bit of a trip down memory lane for certainly Lester and I. And as we kind of go in around, we're chatting with each other saying, do you know what, we've not done this for such a long time, and it's just amazing the beauty and some of the things that we've we're so lucky to have this in our back garden.
Yeah, definitely. It's just nice to share it with people as well.
Absolutely, and people always ask, don't they?
Yeah.
They always ask, where are you guys? Where are you based? And all this, and also people come down to see us at Torquay, and there's just lots of little areas that you can go and have a little look at when you're down visiting.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for us, isn't it? Masters Sunday.
Who's winning then?
We will be watching. I have no idea. I mean, I've watched it a couple of times this week, but I've not really got a chance. You've watched some more, haven't you? On the highlights and things.
What's highlights?
Anyway, enjoy your Masters Sunday, and we look forward to catching up with you again next week.